Hey, it's James here from Guitarist.com, and today we're going to learn how to play Sleepwalk by Santo and Johnny. Let's just take a quick look at what we'll be learning. So as you can see, there are two elements to this tune. There's the chords, and then there's that instrumental melody, and we're going to learn them in two separate lessons. Today, we're going to take care of the chords, and in the next lesson, we'll take a look at the melody in a few days. And my goal for this one is to give you something to play with your guitar friends. You know, one of you can learn how to play the chords, the other one can do the melody, or you can each learn both parts and take turns playing it. I've done my best to simplify this whole thing. So even though there's a big F minor bar chord, you know, I'm going to show you a simpler way to do it. And even though the melody happens like way up here with the slide on electric guitar, we're going to play it in a much more playable part of the fretboard. If you haven't grabbed your copy yet, I have a free ebook. It's completely free for all my subscribers. I'll put a link to that in the corner and down below. Otherwise, let's dive right in. This song has a very repetitive chord progression. We start off on the C chord, and then we go to A minor. And to do that, we just need to move our ring finger and put it underneath our middle finger. But we will have to budge around our fingers a bit to make that A minor shape very comfortable. But for the most part, it is just that one finger and a little bit of adjusting. And then we have our F minor chord. And if you're ready, you can play the bar chord. Otherwise, we're going to take our index finger and move it to the first fret of the G string. And then we're going to take our pinky to the third fret of the D string and our ring finger just above it, third fret of the A string. And we get 3 notes. And the real trick here is to have your index finger kind of slacking a little bit so that it mutes the top 2 strings. So from our A minor shape, we work out that switch. And then we go into G, and I like to play G like this, with my ring finger on the third fret of the thickest string, and then my pinky on the third fret of the thinnest string. I don't do this all the time, but in this song it works really well because the transition back into C is made that much simpler. Just try that a few times. And this progression makes up like 90% of the song, so I recommend going through it with downstrokes only, just counting out loud, going 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, and That's how we would count this song, since it has that type of feeling. You know, instead of going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, we go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and And we could even try strumming that, you know, just on our C chord, going 1 and 2 and just downstrokes. And you make the number a little bit bigger and the anda a little bit smaller. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and we would just do that one time on each chord. I'm going to get out my metronome so that we can stay perfectly in time. 56 beats per minute. Let's practice counting to the metronome first. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and that gets us, you know, in time with that feeling. Let's actually slow it down. Let's try 48. Let's see how that feels. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. We're all synced up with the metronome. Then we try our progression. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. You can even hum that melody. This is like most of the song, right? Now, we would do that 3 times, and then we would make a slight alteration to our progression. Instead of F minor, we would play the D minor chord. So we go C chord, A minor chord, D minor chord, then a G chord. Now, I'm going to write out the entire first verse, I guess you'd call it, and you can see exactly how it goes. We're playing our main progression 3 times, then we're playing it with that slight alteration, D minor. Then it's back to our main progression 3 times, and then we have a transition into the next section. And for this transition, we're going to introduce a new chord shape, F. We're on our C chord, and I'm going to move my middle finger down so that it's on the 2nd fret of the G string, and I'm going to put my pinky finger under my ring finger. So that's on the 3rd fret of the D string. And that's an easy way to play F. So we have our C chord, transition into our easy F. You can see my thumb is lightly touching the thickest string. It's not like way over, it's just lightly touching it to mute it. Then back to C, and then we have C7. And all we have to do there is add our pinky to the 3rd fret of the G string. And for this transition, we're going to use the same strumming pattern for the first 3 chords, just going 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and then when we switch to C7, you can keep doing the same pattern, but optionally, if you want to take this one up a tiny little notch, we're just going to go. And what we're doing there is we're adding an upstroke after the 2nd downstroke. You know, when we're counting it out and we're going like 1 and we're going 1 and then we're doing an upstroke after that and then our other downstroke. So we're just adding an upstroke in there, and in terms of counting it, you know, I just go down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. You know, you could even play down, 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 our usual pattern, 1 and 2 playing both of them together just so you can keep that same tempo and that same motion going in your arm. Once again, that's optional. And that leads us into the B section. And now we're going to start the same way with F and F minor, but then we're going to play a G power chord. So that is the 3rd fret of the thickest string, and then I'm going to put my ring finger on the 5th fret of the A string. And that's a really simple shape. It's really bassy. You're welcome, if that's a bit too much for you, to just play the root note, which is the 3rd fret of the thickest string. But, you know, this is a great shape to learn because it does get your hand ready to play bar chords. And you can play, you know, like a bunch of bluesy, cool stuff with it. It's a great shape to learn. Anyways, we're starting off with that, and we're just going to play downstrokes here, but we're going to start really quiet. We're going to go 1 and 2 and then we drag the whole thing up 3 frets. So my index is on the 6th fret, and my ring finger is on the 8th fret. And this gives us a B flat power chord. Still doing downstrokes only, and then back to where we started with our index on the 3rd fret, and we just play it once and stop the strings. So for that part, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 2 and 1 and 2 and then we move on into the next section of the song. So it's really important to count that empty space so that you start the next section at the right time. You know, the more you practice that, the more automatic it's going to become. Because something I notice whenever I see people playing at like open mics and whatnot is there are people who condense those bits of time, right? And it kind of takes away from the feeling of the song. Anyways, that is the B section. And from there, we would just play our main riff a few times and we're done. If you want to play this entire thing with me, with the melody and all that, that's available on my website for members of my All Access Pass. On top of that, you get access to all my courses, all my other full song playthroughs. There's well over 100 at this point, and I'm adding a few every month. My YouTube bonus worksheets, and you also get the ability to directly contact me and ask me questions, about guitar. So there's a lot included in there. I'll put more information on that down below. Otherwise, don't forget to grab your copy of my free ebook. Subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss the next one where we're going to learn the melody in a much easier to play place than going like, with the slide. We're going to do it in like a simple acoustic form. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below. Have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.